Hello, my name is Shelley Washer. I recently met with Jack Love. Jack was somebody who helped me in the finishes on my home. I call it new construction, but Jack, it's been quite a while. I think 2017 is when we built, but Jack came in, him and Robert Roby, and helped us do a lot of the awesome finishes in our property. So from that relationship, Jack knew I was in real estate, and we were talking, discussing the value of the family farm. Thought I would reach out, introduce myself, and then help you to understand why I have the opinion I do on the value of your property. We do work a lot with landowners in the Hardin County area, helping them to understand valuations. Obviously, the SK Blue Oval Park that's coming to the south side of Hardin County is causing quite a bit of stir. There is a lot of resistance in the local community for development, and that brings its own set of challenges. But for the most part, just trying to determine the right value or land use is the biggest struggle. The Hardin County comp plan has a lot of limitations in place, and that is going to be reevaluated this summer, we are told, to see if they are going to change the rules per se to allow for the development that needs to occur in the area. Limitations on density, how many houses, the road frontage, different things like that that can be complicated. Looking specifically at your 39 acres that you have available, it could potentially be zoned as a development. The problem being there is no sewer access. So with our current county standards, you have to have 9/10 at a minimum per lot, 9/10 of an acre, that is per lot, in order to sustain a septic system for each property. So when you take the 39 acres, develop the necessary roadways, work around protected areas, which your farm actually in the corner nearest I-65 has a couple intersecting blue line stream areas. To explain, blue line stream is federally protected waterways. Some of those have actual water, and others are just streams that occasionally have water. But regardless, it is a national map that says thou shalt never disturb these areas unless you're willing to pay high mitigation cost. And developers will sometimes make modifications. Ultimately, you reroute the water streams, but it comes at a very, very steep cost. So again, for what that means for the potential development of this land, there is a lot of blue line stream to have to work around, which creates an issue with value. Someone who is interested in developing this particular property will have much higher cost potentially than a piece of land that doesn't have so much blue line. And we can get you a copy of that if you would like to see those exact roadways and the intersections of them there in this back. I guess it would be the south corner of the property touching I-65. Likely use could be light industrial or commercial. The adjacent property has an industrial zoning. So anytime you have the presence of one zoning change, it is much more likely for any adjoining property to be able to get the same. So that is in your favor. In looking at what things are selling for, properties that do not have access to sewer are substantially less than those that do. Again, the cost of running the utility, the likely use of property. In time, perhaps we will see more sewer come to the area, but at this time, I've spent many conversations with the water company, Hardin County Planning and Zoning, the mayor, different folks, just trying to understand what is the likely possibility of it coming, and no one can give us an answer as to any time in the near future. We don't have any funding projects. We're not going to underwrite bonds. So all of that means then we're going to be left to find this infrastructure cost somewhere in our budget, and it's just not there right now. No one's willing to commit to that. So as it stands now, we can expect septic to be the likely choice for this community. And again, with that in mind, we have to price accordingly. We're seeing anywhere between 30 and 35,000 an acre would be a likely go-to price right now. as I mentioned to Jack, more than willing to test a different number if your family would like to know. I simply want to convey what I feel it will likely sell for. We can always try for more, but the majority of people who we're working with, other national companies who have interest in the Glendale community, they are looking for areas that one are closer. If they're going to buy a commercial property, they're looking for something closer, even though this is only 3.5 miles from the site. They're looking for something that's not on a smaller, more narrow road like Old Dixie is. And secondly, that sewer septic concept, it's a problem. And since we cannot, we just don't have that available in our community right now. So that's where it stands. So once again, point of this conversation was just to introduce myself, to give you the reason behind my land valuation, and then just to let you know I'm here to help. If we can market the property for you, more than happy to make that happen. We have contacts, people that we're ready to communicate with in terms of marketing, but we're obviously not doing that right now without permission. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to talk. Thank you.